If you're a mom over 35, then stay and listen. If not, you're still free to stay and listen, but you can also keep scrolling. But before you keep scrolling, like my page, follow me for more videos like this one, and share this with somebody that you might know who might be struggling with moving forward in life, who may be dealing with dependency, whether that's dependent on a man or depending on a person, or even depending on a substance like alcohol or drugs, or just something that helps people to cope when they don't know how to cope. Before you keep scrolling, I would encourage you to stay to the end of this video, just because this is one of those vulnerable posts that you sit and you think, do I post this or do I just hold it in? I started on TikTok a couple years ago after my last relationship ended. And it was a hard breakup because at 30 something years old in my life, I just wasn't prepared for another breakup. But I also wasn't prepared as a person to be in a relationship with another person who was not healthy as well. So everything happens for a reason. I dealt with so much trauma coming up as a child, and I feel like it's not talked about enough when you have suffered through childhood trauma, and then before you could even get any type of healing from that childhood trauma, you become a mom. Because when that happens, now instead of being a child and getting some kind of healing, you're a child dealing with that trauma, now having to raise another child. So at that point, when I became a mom, I stopped living. That child no longer existed. Even though she was in there suffering in silence. She was in there hidden away, tucked away, until later. I'll deal with her later. Doing the best I could with what I knew how, I raised 3 kids. And now that I'm raising my last child at a time where I have started that healing process, so many things have come to light and become a reality that never was before. It's so easy to feel ashamed, to feel embarrassed, to feel like you are less than somebody else because you aren't where they are, or you don't have what they have. Whether that's mentally, physically, emotionally, or even spiritually. One thing that I had to learn how to do was to not look at other people and compare myself to other people. Another thing that I had to do was to give myself permission to heal the way that I needed to heal. I just want to tell somebody that you're not too old to cry about something that hurt you. If you've never cried about it before, cry about it now. If you've never complained about it before, complain about it now. For so many years, I held things inside that hurt me so bad because You aren't allowed to talk about what hurt you. You're just supposed to move on and get over it. You're supposed to act like it never happened because that was yesterday. Now we're dealing with today. Yesterday was in the past and we're moving forward. I want to tell you that you're allowed to move forward and you're allowed to voice whatever is hurting you. You're allowed to talk about whoever hurt you. You are allowed to say that I don't like the way that made me feel. You're allowed to say I don't like you and I don't want to be around you. When you deal with people who don't want you to have a voice because it makes them feel better, you're dealing with some bad people. It's not you who's the bad person for feeling how you feel. It's them who is the bad person for making you feel the way that you feel and expecting you to not say anything about it and to just move on and act as if it never happened. We do that, but it's still there. That trauma doesn't go away. That trauma is just covered up until it comes out, and sometimes it comes out at the worst times. So, I'm here to tell you that your healing process, it doesn't have to look like their healing process.
And then that's it.